What's up, you guys? It is Margot, and today I am doing such a highly requested video, so I'm really excited. I'm at my desk today because we are going to be talking about journaling and calendars and writing stuff down and lists and all that good stuff that I literally could not live without. So I have been journaling. I'm just gonna call it journaling. Like, I'm gonna tell you what journaling means to me, but I'm just gonna use that term just to include everything. I have been journaling for literally as long as I can remember, but it started out as something that I definitely don't do now. That didn't really help me. So I'm gonna be talking about the specific journals and the type of journaling that personally wasn't really that helpful, and then the things that I do now that make me so much more productive, that keep me really organized, and really easy things that you can do. I'm so excited to film this because I have been wanting to do this for so long, and I feel like I have some good tips for you guys to get into this if you're interested. So really quickly before I get into what does work, I'm going to talk about some of the journals that didn't really last me that long. I think that you can tell if a journal is really helpful if you actually keep up with it without really thinking about it. Like, for me, the journals that I have now, I need, like, I could not live without them. Meanwhile, the other ones I had to like remind myself to use. So first, I have this very pretty journal from Anthropology. And what I used this journal for was every day I would write little entries about what I did, and I would try to make it really pretty. So some people bullet journal, which is like a whole nother thing, kind of, you'll see. And that's really making it like very, very organized. Like, it looks perfect, which I think for some people, maybe that's like fun, but for me, it just didn't make that much sense because I use it for functionality, not really for the way that it looks. But when I had this journal, I really focused on how it looked. So I would add pictures, which I really like looking back on now. Like, I really love seeing that was my room at that time. I wrote down what I did every single day. And it was very like journal style. Like, I was literally writing like haha dot dot dot, it killed, like blah blah blah, didn't do anything after that, blah blah blah. So like, yeah, this is kind of fun to look back on, but at the time it wasn't helpful. It was something that I wrote in at the end of the day, and you'll see that some of these ideas I carried on into more of a productive manner. But I kind of use this also as scrapbook. Like, I would put in tickets and stuff. So again, this is nice to look back on, but it didn't really help me. So yeah, and I was trying to make everything pretty, like college essay ideas, and like drew drawings for everything. Life update. These are actually cool, and this I will talk about really quickly. I think regardless of the way that you journal, it's really cool to do like life updates or just like what's going on in your life at that moment and make it more like statistical. So I have work, YouTube, Instagram, like what I did today and like what I've found out recently, just so you can kind of get a snapshot of where you were at that time. And also for me, like, I can see my growth on YouTube. Obviously I can just look at the data and analytics for that, but like, it's really cool for me to write down. And like, if I write down a quick like, oh my god, like really exciting, just hit 10,000 subscribers, like that's really cool for me to look back on. Here's something. May 3rd, 2015, so that was 2 years ago. I had 7,000 subscribers. I started working as a sales associate at Brandy Melville. I learned that one of my best friends is moving to Sweden. So I just kind of know that like where I was at that time. So I think that's cool, but at the same time, like I said, I wasn't really using this to help me. It was just kind of like to look back on. A similar thing to that was I made kind of like a Tumblr inspired notebook, which was really cool for me just because I probably had some extra time on my hands. I was in high school. This was probably over the summer. So I put in some drawings and I put in pictures that I thought were cool. I like took a lot of film pictures back then, so I put them in and maybe wrote down what I was doing. These are the first pictures I took with Dad's camera. I like the tree one a lot. I guess this one is pretty cool too though. So yeah, these are just some cool things. I remember like my dad has this beautiful film camera that we took out on this hike together, and some of the pictures are beautiful. I have some pictures with my brother in here. So these are just like cool things. I took film that year, and this is a very visual journal. So I still like to have this, although I don't use it that much. Like if I have a bunch of film pictures, these are all the Polaroids from this year, which is just a lot, and I keep taking them. So I'm probably gonna end up putting a bunch of Polaroids in here. But this isn't necessarily something I would like lug to school with me. It's just something that for me is nice to look back on, and I think it'll be really nice when I'm older to be able to have this. So this is kind of what's in here. Oh, and things are falling out. It's when I went to Hawaii. Some of my friends and my home, all about the city. Some drawings and thoughts. So yeah, again, not really that productive, but that is something that I do like a little bit more than the first journal that I showed you. Now it's time for the fun stuff, and it's about the journals that I still use today and what I really find effective and things that I think will help you guys. So I am going to start with this because I guess I'm going from like least necessary to most necessary. So this, although it's not crucial, I really like to have this, and this is kind of my nicer journal that I still use for things. So in the first half of this journal, I have lists at the top of kind of like advice that I've gotten, or if it says read a lot, anything, anywhere, for an example, I write down some like little blurbs about books that I've read or books that I want to read. So this is kind of just like a bigger picture thing for long term that I still go back on. I have some of my internship notes in here about my to-do list that I had to do every single day. Again, still making it like look nice, but I didn't care that much. And then when I was teaching myself a lot about astronomy, I was writing down all the notes in here, and you can see there's a lot of notes, and I added some charts in here. So these are the things that I do look back on, but it's kind of the more, it's not like everyday to-do list, it's more of like the bigger things in my life. So I have everything about me July 13th, so that's really nice to like see. I literally have how much money I have in my bank account, which is like, obviously that's very, very personal, but to look back on this, I'm really proud of like, this is last year, and to look at what I have this year, a month before this, is pretty cool for me. I also have my page of gratitude and my law of attraction. So these are things that I'm really, really grateful in my life, and these are things that I want to attract into my life. Hopefully you guys can get an idea that it's just like the bigger picture things that I take that to college, and like I'll write in that sometimes, but I look back on it and it's just nice to have like a nicer journal for me. Now we are going to get into the nitty-gritty ones. So they are these three. So these are obviously the same journals, and I actually just finished this journal, so I called it Syracuse 16-17 school year just because this is from September 5th, and then this is, it says French final. So a lot of stuff goes into this, and this, you guys, literally everyone has to have a notebook that they don't care about like making it ugly, like scratching stuff off, making edits. Like I had multiple notes on one page. It wasn't just like this page is for law of attraction. It's like I had to-do lists, I had things I have to finish today. I did like my workout for that day. I think also it's important, before I like get really into that, is that my brain and my like organization completely functions on lists. So if you know anything about me, it's that I make a list for absolutely everything. I wake up in the morning and I write a to-do list, grocery lists, things that I have to buy. I literally have lists for things that I've been putting off that I need to do. I have lists for long-term things, like I literally have a list of Instagram captions that I can use, which is like really sad, but that's the way that my brain works. I have bucket lists for the summer. I have my life goal bucket lists, and these are pretty much all in here because they're all things that I'm gonna go back and scratch things out. I have video idea lists. I have things I want to accomplish before I go back to school. So yeah, you could technically put these in the yellow book, which is kind of like bigger idea, but at the same time, I like putting this in here because I always have this on me, and I always want to be able to add to lists if like that's what I'm thinking. So like I said, I pretty much have a to-do list for every day, or like every other day if I'm busy for one day. I think for to-do lists, it's really important to have like day to-do lists and then weekly to-do lists or month to-do lists. Just because sometimes it's not really realistic or necessary that you do things in one day. Even if you can, then great, get it done. But if not, like, it's nice to have a visual reminder of things that you have to do so it doesn't slip out of your mind. The things that I always forget to do and that I maybe don't have enough time to do as well as I would like are the things that I don't write down on a list. So if you can start to tell, like, lists make up a huge part of my life. This is my school year kind of journal, so that's why I call it a journal. It's not like it's not like a diary. It's not like I'm writing like, oh my god, today was so sad. But something that I do in here is I make anxiety lists. So although I'm not diagnosed with the anxiety, I do know myself and I get very anxious at certain things. I have had anxiety attacks and they suck, but for me, a lot of times it's just like a lot of anxiety builds up in me, whether it's stress or like social anxiety. So I will write a list literally of everything that could possibly be making me feel the way that I feel. And once I get it down, I can start to figure out what it is, and I can start to think about that and like make decisions of how I'm gonna go about that to make the situation better for myself. I know I'm kind of like talking a lot about what I put in here, but that's just because I put so much random stuff in here. And I'm not telling you like what you should put in your journal, but I think that it's crucial for everyone to have a journal that they can just write stuff down on, jot stuff down. The reason that I'm organized and that I'm very productive is because I have a list of things that I have to do, and I make sure that most, if not all of them, are checked off by the time I go to bed or a new week starts. On that same idea, I have a calendar. So this calendar I actually got from Target. These are the types of calendars that I like, that have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever. And they have a few lines under each one, and then it also has a monthly view. So in the monthly views, I usually write a list of the videos that I'm going to be uploading, or I use the actual calendar, and I write big events. Also, if I have any deadlines or I'm traveling, then I'll put them in the big thing just so I can look briefly if there's anything that I have to do. On each of the pages, clearly I use every week a lot. So I write down everything that I have to do that day, whether I know 3 weeks in advance, or I know that day, or if it's even the end of the day and I just wanted to write down what I did. It's really important that I always have this and a journal on me, just because I know that I have to-do lists and I know that I have like bigger events. So whether that's doing something small like going shopping with my friends or getting lunch with a friend, but something bigger like a video is due, or a huge homework assignment is due, or I'm supposed to meet with a professor. It's just really nice to be able to visually see, and that also obviously makes sure that you don't double book yourself for a day, or it also makes sure that you don't miss any events, which is very important. I know that some people can like have more of this in their brain, but because I consider myself to be pretty busy and productive, it's very important that I can have somewhere that I can just jot it down, so I don't have to rely like on my memory, because my memory is actually really bad and it's pretty sad. That pretty much makes up what I have to say about my journaling. I just tweeted if you guys had any questions, so I will check. Okay, no one asked me any questions. It's kind of sad. To be fair, I tweeted it 10 minutes ago. Oops. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any more questions about my journaling or journal habits, or where you can get journals or whatever. Oh, by the way, I should say that this one is from Target. This is from a bookstore. This is from a craft store. This is from Anthropology. And then my brother sent me these as a birthday gift or Christmas gift or something. Again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments or tweet me and I will get back to you. I love you guys so much and I hope you enjoyed this video. It was kind of all over the place, but I think I answered some of your questions. And yeah, I will see you next video. Mwah!